North Korea. Can art be under sanctions? What do North Korean artists think about their art? And how and where do they sell it? If they sell it at all. And most importantly, what do they do there? Today we're gonna be talking about Mansudae's art studio. Is it a bad place or a good place? Considering, Today I'll try answer all these questions, but first, a bit of history as usual. And I gotta tell ya, research for that one was fucking wild. I had these pop up when trying to enter their website, so sorry for not thorough enough search. Though I'm probably being monitored right now, so you better subscribe to the channel. So the Mansudae's art studio was established in 1959 in Pyongyang, 6 years after the Korean War, and it claims to be the largest producer of arts in the world. And I know it's North Korea, but they actually might be right on that one. Because it ain't Chinese type of factory. No. It's really, really high quality arts they are producing. They employ over 4,000 people, 1,000 of which is the best of the best, handpicked the best artists from academies in North Korea. Why so many people though? You see, there's 13 different creative groups, 7 manufacturing plants, and 50 supply departments. Damn, the studio must be big then. Hell yeah, it fucking is. It's 120,000 square kilometers, from which 80,000 square kilometers are inside. And besides all of the studios they have, because they have paintings, drawings, sculpting, ceramics, all of that crap. But they also do have things like football stadium, kindergarten, gift shop, pulp mill, factories for paints and such. And I gotta say, sounds pretty chill for North Korean standards. But what do they do there exactly? Literally everything, painting, sculpting, drawing, embroidery, jeweler painting, woodworks, any type of art you can imagine, they probably do that there. I mean, they employ over half of the country's artists, which I don't think it's easy being one in, especially North Korea, because it's not easy being one anywhere. But in North Korea, dude. But what do they themselves, the artists, what do they think about it? Well, it depends on if they escaped or not. Because the ones that are still there, they don't feel like they're making propaganda. They feel like they're serving their country and their people. And also claim shit like our art is truly beautiful because it's free from markets and shit, and we don't compare who's better artists based off of who has more wealth. I mean, well, we don't do that in the West as well. Yeah, so they can just purely focus on aesthetics, and just aesthetics will be the thing that defines them because they have no money and they are starving, I guess. See, that's how the propaganda shit works. Even in the West, we do have these markets that regulate shit, but at the end, it all comes down to beauty. So sometimes it happens after the artist's death, but well, what you gonna do? But what do SKPs say about this? Well, we have this really cool artist called Song Bayok. So he, for example, said that all artists in North Korea are slaves to the party, or that North Korean art is a tool for Kim's family with no identity on its own. So yeah, kind of expected, wasn't it? But on contrary, they do make so much shit that some of it's not propaganda, or it's not strict propaganda, at least not nowadays, but I'm gonna get to that a little bit later. So of course, we're gonna start with propaganda. Surrealism with no freedom of speech, we gotcha. And of course, all of the posters and Kim's family's portraits come directly from the studio. The studio was even operating under special guidance from Kim Jong-il until his fortunate death in 2011. But besides painting, they also make really awesome surrealism sculptures and monuments that they are building not only in North Korea, but also all around the globe. There's even a special division called Mansudae's Overseas Projects, aimed at, you guessed it, creating outside the country. The division is made out of artists, engineers, and construction workers to build sculptures and monuments while making millions in the process. I mean, they were making millions over a decade ago, but we're gonna get to that later. Where do they build then? Well, mostly in Africa, but they built things in over 17 countries like Angola, Algeria, Benin, Botswana, Cambodia, Chad, Democratic Republic of Congo, Egypt, Equatorial Guinea, Ethiopia, Germany, Malaysia, Mali, Mozambique, Namibia, Senegal, Togo, and Zimbabwe. Whew. And their portfolio is quite impressive, including but not limited to the biggest monument in Africa, the African Renaissance movement, which sits at around 52 meters, and then that sculpture sits on top of 100-meter hill, making it the biggest monument in Africa and I think one of the biggest in the world. And for more impressive monuments, we can look into Ethiopia, at Talachin Monument, which is like 50 meters tall. Namibia, for example, got a bunch of buildings, like Independence Memorial Museum or the new State House of Namibia. But wait, did I mention Germany minutes ago? Yup, only Western country that does have their work. Because you see, the original fountain was melted down for bullets during the Second World War, and the city wanted to rebuild it, but they didn't really have like blueprints and shit. They just had like few pictures. So they've picked the Mansudae studio because they're really good at like recreating stuff. So they've built that in like early 2000s. I don't remember exactly, like 2005 or something. But Germany is not the only country with ties to the Mansudae's art studio, because there are two countries that like to do shenanigans in Europe, and I'm not talking about France. And of course, it's Italy. You see, there was this like an Italian dude that had an orchestra, and he was invited to Pyongyang to perform there. And after the concert, he was like, "Yo, do you have like any art galleries or like art studios or whatever? Just take me to one of these." And they took him to, you guessed it, Mansudae's. And he obviously liked it, and he liked it so much that a year later he invited his brother there and he showed him his work. And it happened to be that his brother was like a head of Florence Academy of Fine Arts or something. So he was obviously like, "Yo, I'm gonna make some exhibitions." But that was one sneaky motherfucker, because of course they had to sign the agreement of exclusivity with them. So only like this fucking guy was the only person that was allowed to make exhibitions from North Korea in the whole fucking West. Like, dude, the fuck? But it was all fun and games until the UN Security Council banned Mansudae's statue business, as well as blacklisting the studio. But what happened in 2016 though? Art wasn't sanctioned really, but obviously if it wasn't sanctioned, North Korea like kind of noticed that. So they were making shit ton of money just by creating arts, and then they were making like hundreds of millions of dollars through the overseas projects and through these fucking pricks in Italy. So it's banned nowadays. You cannot really get that in the West. Although you can go to China, because in China, obviously, they do have their own museum. So you can go there and grab some stuff. You can grab prints, paintings, whatever you like. How were they selling so much shit, you know? I've mentioned it's not only propaganda. And you see, in 2011, this chubby little fuck, Kim Jong-un, gave them more freedoms of expression so they don't have to just paint like propaganda stuff. They are now allowed to paint things such as landscapes and still nature. Why though, you ask? Well, to flee markets with good, really good paintings, but simple paintings, to make shit ton of money. And come on, Kim Jong-un was studying in Switzerland. Trust me, he knows that people don't buy this propaganda shit in general. You know what he also knows? That you should like and subscribe. So, what did we learn today? I don't know. Draw your own conclusions. I'm not a dictator to set them for you.